Hello and welcome to Stockwatch, presented by me, Evan Lucas, for Go Market Securities. As always, please have a very good read through of the disclaimer on screen. Everything in this video is general in nature. Go Market Securities does not know your personal scenario, nor your personal financial goals, and therefore none of which relied upon is any full advice at all. It is just general in nature only. I'm going to do a big overview of equities because I think there's a really interesting thing going on inside them right now. If you actually have a look, the ASX 200 could finish in the black for 2022. What a staggering thing to think about. And if you look on total returns, that's when you include the dividends of the investments that you have, it's getting even closer to being in positive territory too, particularly if you've gone down the value route with what you've invested in here in Australia. Sectors that really stand out, you can't go past energy, 16.5% up this year. None of that should be surprising. There is a question though whether or not that's sustainable. If you have a look, since the peak of the market in oil, it's off 36.5%. The market hasn't really woken up to that idea yet, and that might be something to look at in 2023. The next thing to look at is the banks and also anything around finance into this year and into next. It's been a troubling year for two banks, ANZ and Westpac, and a reasonable year for CBA and NAB on the other side. All four have been battling the idea of raising rates. The thing that's interesting about finishing off 2022 is this growing belief that the housing market, which has now contracted about 7.5% since its peak in April this year, that it could start to see better expected numbers next year off the back of the idea that the RBA may pause, that the housing market may recover and recover quite solidly in 2023. That remains to be seen, but certainly a theme to watch to drive the ASX even more, considering that the banks make up most of the top six in where they sit and are a huge part of the index. The final thing to address is materials. I've been talking about materials all year, and they've been all over the shop for good reason, because things have been moving. But in the main, bulk commodities have done well this year, and you've been well and truly done well if you've been involved with them. Probably going to hold true. The catch with it is, what does a slowing economy look like? What does that mean for bulk commodities? Normally, a global recession is a negative thing for them. So far, that hasn't come to fruition, but it is the theme to watch for 2023. Hasn't been the case in 2022.